Hello, welcome you all again. Today basically I have just taken a course related with the understanding of a system and its responses. In this, we try to understand how the different type of analysis domain like the Fourier transform or the Laplace transform help us to find out the system response as well as the output response. It's very simple. Just whether it is a Laplace transformation or a Z transformation or a Fourier transformation. Just take a simple example. If you have somewhere a black box, in that black box you are providing some sort of the input, and that input is giving a output to you. So we have basically three things. First, input, which is generally termed by xt. Second, your system, which is a black box, what is inside that, which is to be represented by another function ht, and using this ht and xt one can find out the response as yt. So just take an example of electric bulb. In the electric bulb, if suppose I talk about the xt, so xt is nothing but simply a 220 volt AC supply. Talking about the ht phenomena, so this ht phenomena is nothing but the internal resistive electrical circuit of that bulb. And finally, this yt will come up into the two different form, maybe in form of illuminations, optical energy, or in form of some heat, thermal energy. So this system is creating two different kind of responses. So now in this section we have a target to understand about basically how we can find out the system response as well as the output response. Just take a very simple example here. Suppose for any system an xt is given to you. I am just taking this example into the case of the Laplace transformation. Next I'll proceed with the Fourier too. Suppose you have a xt, this is a function, and here you have a system which is to be represented by ht equals to e raised to the power minus alpha t ut. Now the target is here to find out the value of yt. So it's very simple. One has to take care about that if you are taking a response in a time domain, so this time domain response requires convolution of ht and xt. Convolving ht and xt is bit mathematically typical. So what is the choice? The option is given to you that one can convert this ht into frequency domain and xt also in frequency domain, and now while you are converting this you may use either Laplace transformation or the Fourier transformation. So by converting this you may get a response ht as hs, xt as xs. What is the benefit of converting this? While you are converting this, so the convolution in time domain can be a simple multiplication in frequency domain. So the simple process, step number 1, find out hs. It means for transformation of this in frequency domain, we are talking about the Laplace transformation, so ht will become hs, xt will become xs. So you have this Laplace transformation of 1 upon s plus alpha, and for this it is 1 upon s minus alpha. Now what is the target to find out? The target is to find out the system response, and system response can be given as multiplication of this and this easily. So you can find out ys as xs and hs. Using this formula you have to go for the inverse Laplace transformation because you have gotten ys. Now what is the target to find out? The target is to find out the yt. So various formulas are there, various processes are there. The one of the best processes to be told is to use partial fraction method. Break them, convert them into the different section, and as per the comparison of the standard you may get this. So this is one example. Let's move on for the another. Taking another different kind of example. The example from the Shom series book is here. I am just taking the consideration of the Shom series. So you may find out all these in this book and may have a revision or practice of this one. So let's see another case. In the previous case, xt and ht was defined properly, but in some time it may have we have a mathematical model. Mathematical model can be represented with the equations. That equation may be linear, that equation may be differential. That all we know. Anything can be represented through equation. It means a simple speed and time relationship can be represented in linear equation. Right? Y equals to mx is a linear equation. It tells you x changes with respect to y. X is a box system in which x is input, y is output, and system is mx. So this mx given output, if 2 km speed is to be increased by the x, then y will be changing accordingly. So y equals to mx. So it's a very simple concept. Any phenomena, any process can be written in the form of equation. So once the output equation is given as like differential equation, this is the most important questions comes in the Laplace and the Fourier transform, because it has a great utility, because solving of these type of specific equations in Laplace transformation make them easy. That's why we use, take an example like that. So another type of problem you find in that you may have differential equations. So what is the process to solve this differential equation? So first of all, you should know how the differential term can be evaluated in frequency domain. Term is same. If you are looking to find out all this, you have to convert all of them into the Fourier and into the Laplace transformation. So first of all, you should know, if suppose xt has a Laplace transform of xs, yt has a Laplace transform of ys, then what should be the Laplace transformation of y dash t? Y double dash t. Here the property comes. The y dash t will tell you that if you have a Laplace transform of yt, whatever the yt is there, if you are writing it as ys, it can be written as with this formula s y1s and minus y0 minus. So these are the initial conditions. So whether in this question initial condition is given or not, if it is given, you have to put that initial condition. Otherwise, you have to take in care, assume that initial conditions are 0. Initially, it means system was at rest. This initial condition only tells you whether it was working or it was on rest. So if initial conditions are 0, that means it was on rest. So here it is given y0 equals to 2, it means it was working, something was there in the output system. Y dash is 0 is equals to 1 and so on. And xt is also given e raised to the power minus t ut. So let's start with this. So first of all, step number 1, we have a target to convert this whole into the Laplace transformation terms in the S domain. So we have xt as xs, yt as ys. Now talking about y dash t. So this y dash t is nothing but s y1s minus y0 minus. So let's see, do we have this value y0 minus? Yeah, exactly. Initial condition, it is given here. Y dash 0 minus equals to y dash 0, or y dash 0 has a value equals to 1. So as you have this y dash t equals to s y1s minus y0 minus, so putting this value as y0 equals to y0 minus equals to has the value, it is not 1, it is 2. So y0 has the value 2. So substituting this value 2, it becomes y dash t equals to s y1s and minus 2. Similarly, looking for the second order term will be expanded like this. So as in the first term it is s ys minus y0 minus, so in the second order it comes s square ys minus s y0 minus y dash 0 minus. So again we have to find out the value of y dash 0 minus. So let's see what is the value of y dash 0 minus. So y dash 0 minus has the value as given up here. It is now 1. So substitute s square ys, it is s, and y dash 0 minus is value having the same. So putting all this value, it has become 2, it has become 1. So now the equation becomes s square y1s minus 2s minus 1. I hope so you would be able to understand that. Finally, what we did, we have converted this section and this section into the S domain using formula as well as the predefined values. Once we get all this, so what is the target? You have now in all the terms ys. Separate this ys using the equation. So putting y double dash s, putting y dash s and yt, y dash t, and so on, and putting xt. So we have ys and ys. Take this ys as a common and make the function in terms of this one. So now again the situation comes, this is basically a term, polynomial term, which is given in the S domain. You have a simple target, you have to go for the partial fraction process, find out the partial fraction, and once you get the partial fraction, you are able to compare them. You get the partial fraction of this like 1 upon 2, 1 upon s plus 1. If you go for the partial fraction, you find out this result, and so on. So by comparing this, 1 upon s plus 1 has a e raised to minus t, 1 upon s plus 2 e raised to minus 2t, 1 upon s plus 3 e raised to minus 3t and ut. So now this is what the yt that you were looking for. If something special is being asked, further you can move on this. I hope so this question is clear. So in this question number 1 was telling us directly when ht or xt is given. ht or xt is given. In the second question we talked about what? Where the equations are given. In these equation you have to convert first into the s domain and find out what is the value of xt, substitute them, separate y and find out the ys in terms of polynomial and take the inverse of this polynomial to find out the final result. I hope so this example is very much clear to you. Let's take this kind of example in Fourier series, Fourier transforms 2. Now taking a very similar type of example in Fourier transform 2. That is an example of the 5.45 from the Sherm series book. You can have a basic reference of this question. The same thing is here. In this, dyt upon dt is here, 2yt is here, equals to xt. Same, it means it is y dash t, 2yt and xt. Now the same question has to be solved with the help of the Fourier transform analysis. So what is the target? First of all, we should understand what is basically the differential term to be represented here. And then all the terms has to be converted first into the frequency domain. In the Fourier transform, the frequency domain term is called as a j omega term. That was in this case of the Laplace was s term. So yt has ys in Laplace, and in Fourier transform this yt has y j omega. So we have yt as y j omega, xt as x j omega. So what is the basically dyt? It means y dash t of in terms of omega. We'll discuss this. So for that, if we see, we are given two different inputs. It means the same system is represented by this equation in which the output comes like this yt. This is basically a system. In this system, this is the equation and two different kind of input is given. Like same, the bulb is here. One time you are giving 220 volt on 50 hertz and the second time you are giving 110 volt on 100 hertz. That is for an example. Similarly, two different xt's are given. So what is the process to solve this one? So first of all, we have to solve this equation to find out the y j omega separately. So we will know that, suppose that we are simplifying this, if we have yt as the y omega, then this dyt upon dt equals to j omega y omega equals to x omega. This is what the very simple terminology. So what you did, you have just converted this whole equation into the omega domain. It means j omega domain. J omega domain, that means the Fourier domain. Fourier domain means frequency domain. So equation is now converted into the frequency domain. What is the target to find out? Target is to find out this y omega. How we can find out this y omega? This y omega can be found out by having h omega. How we can get that? So finding out this h omega relationship, it means this h omega is nothing but response of a system, y omega upon x omega. This is now finally the h omega. So by multiplying anything with this h omega, as I have told you, in frequency domain, if you want to know y, you have to multiply h with x. Now how many x you have? You have one x in this case and second x in this case. So that's why this is found for the convenience. But not repeatedly we have to do the same equation. We found this x omega in this case. So in this case, this x omega is 1 upon 1 plus j omega. We have h omega. So y omega is nothing but always h omega into x omega, multiplying these two. On multiplication, again same process, you have to go for the partial fraction, find out the partial fraction of these two, and once you have the partial fraction, you will be able to know that 1 upon 1 plus j omega has a standard e raised to power minus t, and 1 upon 2 plus j omega is e raised to minus 2t. So Fourier transform and Laplace transform are almost similar because s is simply defined by sigma plus j omega. Where the real part is geo, then it's only being represented with the j omega. So somewhat you get the same one. Similarly, the same can be done for the second also, where xt equals to ut. So we have to find out x omega. What is x omega? So in this case, this x omega is nothing but pi delta omega plus 1 upon j omega. Simplifying this, again y omega. Now this h omega is already defined here. This value we have, and multiplying this with this one, taking partial fraction. Now we finally have this y omega, getting partial fraction, and again taking the inverse Fourier transform, we can get yt equals to this one. So ultimately my target is to make you understand that in the case where xt, ht are defined separately, you take their Fourier or Laplace, in which case you are working, and then in the frequency domain multiply them easily and find out the third one, y omega. So it's a very simple equation. Ys in frequency domain equals to hs into xs. So among these three, which one is not known, with the help of this equation you can easily find out. If hs is not given, you can find out y omega upon x omega. If h omega is not found, not available, it is asked to you, then y omega upon x omega. If it is x omega is asked, you can easily find out by dividing y omega by h omega. Similarly, so on. So this is basically a process to find out. I hope so you would be able to solve more questions of system equations. The system equations can easily be sorted out with the help of frequency domain, because in frequency domain you have a multiplication process. So keep doing, keep working, keep practicing. If particularly you are finding any difficulty in equation, you may ask to me. Well, I hope so you would be able to solve all the system equation and system responses of Laplace as well as the Fourier transform. This is also very same in the case of the jet transform, but the jet transform works on a discrete time system. So later on we'll discuss about that. Till now, thank you very much.